Hey guys, welcome to Flexible Dieting 101. Today I'm going to teach you how to build muscle or burn fat consuming the foods you love and the science behind it. We're going to discuss what are calories, what are macronutrients, and what exactly is flexible dieting. To start off with, flexible dieting is not like all the other generic diets out there. It doesn't require restricting or eliminating foods in order to achieve your goals. It looks at addressing the bigger principles such as your calories and macronutrients, which guarantee that you're going to lose fat or build muscle depending on what your goal is. By understanding these bigger principles, it allows you to consume whatever food you want and still reach your goal. So now, calories and macronutrients. You're probably asking yourself, what the hell are they? Now, all foods on this planet contain macronutrients, proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. And each one of these macronutrients has a caloric value to them. Now, calories are simply a unit of measure. We use them to determine how much energy is in our foods. Now, if you have a fancy Fitbit or you've ever been on an exercise machine before, you'll also notice that they give you a caloric value for the amount of energy you're expending while doing exercise. So to keep it simple, it's just a unit of energy that we use to calculate body composition and energy coming in and out of our body in the world of science. Now, each and every single day, we require a certain amount of calories to survive. This is what's called your basal metabolic rate. It's often shortened just to your metabolism in the fitness industry. That's just the amount of calories you need every single day to survive. Because remember, our body is this amazing thing that's doing reactions every single second to keep us alive, living and breathing. Now, the next number you'll want to know is your TDEE, or total daily energy expenditure. Now, that's simply your basal metabolic rate plus the activity and exercise you perform in every single day. Now, this number is the amount of calories you need to consume every single day if you want to maintain the weight you are right now or just stay level at the weight that you are. So, once we have an idea what this number is, we can then look at starting to manipulate this to see our goal. Simply, if you're looking to lose fat or drop some weight, you must consume less calories than your total daily energy expenditure. This is what's called a calorie deficit. Now, if you're looking to build some muscle, you must consume more than the amount of your total daily energy expenditure. This is called a caloric surplus. It's that simple. Now, I went through a lot of terminology there and you may feel a little bit lost. If you need, just go back and watch it again before we move forward and start discussing macros a little more in depth. Now, I've already told you that there's protein, fat, and carbohydrates. These are the macronutrients which you consume. What I didn't tell you is that these are vital for functionality and performance every single day, so we must consume them. Now, protein, I'm sure you've all heard of that because it gets a lot of hype and a lot of rap in the fitness industry. Rightfully so, as it is the most important macronutrient. That's because it's essential, which means if you don't consume enough protein each and every single day, your body will have to take amino acids from your muscle stores in your body in order to perform reactions within your body. Now, this is bad, obviously, because muscle mass is good. We want to have muscles. We want to be strong. We want to be able to pick up heavy things. We want to look good. So you want as much muscle mass as possible. So you don't want that happening. Now, it's also important for just things like hair, skin, nails, bone growth, and all other things like that. So it's vital to keeping you healthy and happy. It's also the most thermogenic macronutrient. What does that mean? Well, all of our foods require a certain amount of energy to break them down and digest them. Now, simply protein, because it has such strong bonds between the molecules, means it requires more energy to break down a protein. That's why, often when people are told to lose weight, you're told to increase the amount of protein because we've got to use a lot of energy to actually break down that food to even get the energy out of the food. So that's why it's the most thermogenic macronutrient. It's also the most satiating, which simply means it helps keep you fuller for longer. So that's why it gets a lot of good hype when you're trying to dieting because it's very helpful, but also vital for building muscle. Now, it contains 4 calories per gram of a macronutrient. Next, we have carbohydrates, which is the only non-essential macronutrient, which means we don't actually have to consume it to keep us alive and for survival reasons. However, that doesn't mean it doesn't play an important part in your diet. Carbohydrates are actually our most preferred source of energy during high intensity exercise. So that means when you're lifting weights, you're going for a run, or you're doing all these kind of things to shape and tone your body, look better and feel better, carbohydrates are your number one preferred source of energy. So we still want to include them in our diet to ensure we have energy and we get the most out of our workouts. Not to mention, they're absolutely delicious and most people's favorite choice of food. Now, these two contain 4 calories per gram of macronutrient. Now, finally, we have fats, which are another essential macronutrient, because fats are responsible for transporting and building many of the hormones within our body. So to keep us healthy and happy, we need to ensure that we have an adequate intake of fats so that all our hormones are being optimized. However, there is one downside to fats, and that is, you may have noticed before I said there's 4 calories per gram for carbohydrates and protein. Fats contain 9 calories per gram of macronutrient. So it's over double, which simply means they're more calorically dense. So fats aren't a bad thing, but they can add up in calories really, really quickly. Now, the whole point of this video is to explain that obviously if your goal is to lose weight, you need to be consuming less calories than what you burn every day. So fats can rack up those calories really quickly. So you've just got to keep an eye on them, which is the whole point of tracking your foods. So now that I've covered the basics of calories and macros, what is flexible dieting all about if it's not a normal diet then? Well, as I said before, the most important factor when trying to achieve your goal is ensuring you're consuming the right amount of calories. If you want to be burning fat, you have to be in a caloric deficit. And if you want to be gaining muscle, you have to be in a caloric surplus. So that's step 1, calories. So step 2 is ensuring that you have the right amount of macronutrient ratios from your food choices. So all the foods that we consume every single day are made up of different ratios and combinations of the macronutrients we've been talking about. Now, some are predominantly just one macronutrient, like meats are predominantly protein and fruits are predominantly carbohydrates, and others are a mix of them. So now we're able to plan out our day or make yourself your own meal plan, if you like, based on the foods you like to consume on a regular basis. Now, the key here is just getting the portions right so you fall within your macronutrient goals for the day. And then you get to see awesome results while eating whatever food you want. Wait a second, macronutrient goals, what are they? How do you find them out? Well, let's go into that now for you. So let's start with protein because it's the only essential macronutrient, so we need it every single day. Let's just use an example of a male athlete at 90 kilos. We want 2 grams per kilo of body weight. So at 90 kilos, we want 180 grams of protein each and every single day. Then we're going to look at getting fats because fats are also essential. So now let's go with 0.7 grams per kilogram of body weight. So at 90 kilos, that comes out to about 63 grams of fat each and every single day. Then we'll look at carbohydrates because it's the only non-essential macronutrient. So what we want to do now is we're going to use his caloric goal and the amount of calories from his protein and fat to determine his carbohydrates. So let's say he needs 2,000 calories every single day in order to lose weight. That's going to be his goal. Now, what we need to do is we need to figure out how many calories are in his protein and how many calories are in his fat goals that we've already given him. So if we times his 180 grams of protein by 4, we're going to come out with about 720 calories. Then if we times his fat by 9 calories per gram, so 63 times 9, we're going to come out with about 585 calories. So what we want to do is we're going to add those two together. That gives us about 1,305 calories. So he has a daily target of 2,000 calories, and he's already got 1,305 from his protein and fat. What we then do is we just work out how many calories are remaining in his daily target, which should be 695 calories. Now we just reverse engineer how many carbs he gets. So 695 divided by 4 leaves him with about 173 grams of carbohydrates every day. Now, that's real strict in being to the exact gram. With flexible dieting, we don't need to be that strict. I like to give what's called ranges. So we would go with something like 170 to 190 grams of protein each day, 60 to 70 grams of fat every single day, and then 160 to 180 grams of carbs every single day. So now we've set up some macronutrient ranges for him to use. Now we've just got to plan out the foods in which you consume each and every single day and make them fit into those macronutrient ranges. Now, how do we do this? Well, you simply download the app called MyFitnessPal on your phone. It's simply a nutritional database. You'll note that every food you ever buy has a nutritional label on it with calories and macronutrients. So this just has all of them in one nice handy database for you, and it calculates and adds them up to you to give a daily total nice and easy. Now, in the beginning, it takes a little while to get used to, but after a amount of time, it legitimately takes 5 minutes or less every single day to plan out your foods. All you have to do is enter the foods in which you like to consume each day and just play around with the portions until they reach your macronutrient goals, and you have a diet plan that's going to see awesome results and they're foods you like to consume. Now think of it like a budget, but instead of money, you have calories and macronutrients. It's just about fitting all the foods that you love to enjoy into that budget. Now, some are more expensive than others. Obviously, junk food or food you have on your cheat days are quite expensive because they're very calorically dense. Ice cream, chocolate, burgers have quite a large amount of calories, whereas healthy foods such as lean meats and vegetables have a very small amount of calories. So it means you can fit a lot of them into your budget, and that's going to help keep you full. So remember the 80-20 principle. That's what flexible dieting is about. 80% of the time should still be healthy foods that you would think of when you're on your regular diet, but 20% of the time you should enjoy the foods that you love. This is going to stop you from binging or having a cheat day that turns into a cheat week and you fall off the wagon, because if I tell you not to think about a purple elephant and roller skates, you start thinking about a purple elephant and roller skates. If I tell you can sit in any chair in the room except for that specific chair, you want to sit in that specific chair. Soon as you diet, if I say you're not allowed to consume a certain food, you crave that certain food. Flexible dieting gives you the freedom to enjoy any of those foods at any point in time in moderation. Instead of binging on a whole pizza, you can fit 2 or 3 slices into your day, still lose weight, still be happy. You can still have a few cookies here and there, a little bit of chocolate here and there. It's not about how much junk can you fit into your diet, but it's about understanding that you can fit things in that wouldn't be in such a normal diet. Maybe you don't like rice, so you can put pasta in instead. Or you put white potato instead of sweet potato. You don't like chicken breast, so you put mincemeat instead. Sure, it's higher fat, but you can make it work if you balance out the rest of your budget. That's what flexible dieting is about. It's about giving you freedom and flexibility to have a sustainable approach, enjoy foods you love. It means if you go out for dinner, you can enter that into your calculator and work out the rest of your day around it and still see results. You don't have to take a day off from your diet, it's still in your diet. Because of that, in the last 2 years, I've never had a cheat day and I've never had a binge. That's because I just fit things into my diet, or I'm able to manipulate my weekly calories in order to fit it in. So you never have to say no to any food. You never have to restrict yourself from any foods. You don't have to starve yourself. You can consume the food you need and slowly change your calories to ensure you hit your goals. So this has just been a big basic guide to what flexible dieting is. And I really hope it is helpful for you guys. If it was, please make sure to like it and share it around, tag people you think it may be helpful for. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel because I'm going to be doing more content about this, going more in depth and teaching you the finer tips and tricks of flexible dieting. Don't forget guys, if you have any further questions, please comment them below or email them to me and I'll be happy to get back to you and help you guys further with it. Remember, dieting isn't just about losing that initial weight, it's about keeping it off for the rest of your life. That's what a sustainable approach is. That's what flexible dieting is all about. You never start or finish your diet. Sure, it takes some investment and some time, but what you're doing here is you're educating yourself, giving yourself the knowledge and empowering yourself to not only lose the weight, but keep the weight off. Because for once in your life, make the decision to actually learn and understand nutrition, because just eating clean is lazy. It's really easy just to go, nope, I'm not going to eat those foods. But guess what? Eventually you're going to want to eat them again, and that's when you're going to gain the weight back. If you take the time to understand, oh, I can consume this many of the food I love, but predominantly have to eat this, or you start to understand what calories and macronutrients are, you've empowered yourself so that for the rest of your life, you can gain and lose weight whenever you want, regulate your calories and the foods you consume to always see results, because you're empowering yourself with the knowledge, with the understanding of how and what dieting actually is. It helps you see through all the BS in the industry and just get real results, consuming foods you love. So again, I hope it was really helpful, guys. If you're a little bit lost, shoot me some questions, watch it again, make sure you take it all in, and this can be the start to your new life, to really seeing some results. So again, make sure you like this video, subscribe to see some more great ones that I've got coming out, and I'll see you all next time.